It has been about 12 hours since the much-awaited US presidential debate concluded. Both sides seem to have been coming for the winner's title, but who actually won is something we might not know for weeks. It was the first time Donald Trump and Kamala Harris met for a debate. They started with an awkward shaking of hands, but that was the only moment of bipartisanship we witnessed. For nearly all of the 1 hour and 45 minutes of the debate, both nominees sparred on a variety of topics. It started with economy, went to abortion, immigration, healthcare, and other domestic issues. We will get to the issues in detail in some time. Let's first go across to Voice of America correspondent Catherine Gibson, who is in Philadelphia, which is where the presidential debate took place.
Good to see you.
Catherine, good to see you as well. Philadelphia seems to be up and about. What are voters saying about the debate?
Yeah, well, we've already gotten an early poll showing how Americans look at that debate last night. About 43% of Americans said that Kamala Harris won that debate, while about 28% of Americans say that Donald Trump won it. We know that she was able to create some of those viral moments that are going to be shared on social media when she baited Trump into discussions about his rally size and about the way world leaders perceive him and his leadership. So there were some good moments for her and some not so good moments for Trump, who really was having a difficult time staying on message last night. There were several instances where we would start out with a question about immigration or healthcare and kind of go off into a tangent. So definitely a debate that covered a lot of ground in only an hour and 45 minutes.
Right, Catherine, you're speaking to us from Pennsylvania, swing state, in fact, a very important state in this year's election. How much of what happened in those 90 minutes is actually going to affect not just Pennsylvania, but also the rest of the 6 battleground states?
That is the million-dollar question here as Americans wind down the clock on the election. We have about 55 days left. And remember, there is so much that can happen in that intervening time. If you think back in a similar time period, we had the attempted assassination of former President Trump. We had both Republican and Democratic conventions. We had President Joe Biden dropping out of the race. We can have so much happen that the memory of this debate will fade and we'll have other things to discuss. What it really comes down to is whether undecided voters in this country were swayed at all by what happened last night. Kamala Harris had to make the case that she was fighting for them and that she was also different enough from the Joe Biden presidency that anything undecided voters didn't like about his administration, she would be able to improve upon. We're going to be seeing how that impacted the undecided voters in this nation in the polls in the next week or so. It'll be really interesting to dig down into those numbers and see if any of those moments had an impact.
Absolutely. Catherine, you probably have a long day ahead of you. We'll leave you with that. Thank you so much for joining us from Philadelphia and getting us those insights. Good to speak to you.
Absolutely, as always.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.